Hello and welcome to Retro Intel. On today's show, we'll be looking at some Commodore computers, specifically 5 VIC-20s and 2 Commodore 64C, the cost-reduced versions of the 64. So let's see if they work and do a diagnostics and maybe even a repair. So let's peek inside and poke around. Okay, let's start our first VIC-20. This VIC-20 here already has an issue. There is a problem with the keycap. It looks like the stem has broken off. We will see if that key works. But for now, let's leave that tape on there. This is a 2-prong plug. Let's see if we can put that on there instead. The older VIC-20s had a 2-prong plug, which produced the voltage you needed. And the newer ones have so here we go. This is the 2-prong plug. And let us quickly check the voltage first on this one. And we'll see. The newer VIC-20s have a connector which works same as the Commodore 64. So let's turn this on. Let's see if we can get that into the camera view here. Let's slide this little sucker over. A little more. There we go. So I'm just going to plug one in on here. Make sure that your meter is on AC voltage. Plug in one in there and one in there. And we're getting 11.53 volts, which is correct. The actual power brick shows 11.5. So this looks pretty good. We can use it. And not worry about it blowing up the rest of the computer, which is a lot of cases happens in the Commodore 64. The VIC-20 power supplies are really pretty good. I've never had a problem with them, although they are getting older and really should be replaced if you want to save your hardware. So we have the power plugged in, we have the video plugged in. Let's power this up and see what happens. And this one is working, although my monitor is not working. The reason why I have the setup here, you see that in one corner is the actual monitor and the other corner is the video capture card. I'm having some issues with it, so let's play around and maybe we can get them both working properly today. Let's take a look. So let us see what is going on around here. Audio and the video. That's why it's unplugged. So let's plug this sucker back in. Turn it on. And still no video on the monitor. Why is that? Why are we not having fun today? Let's see. Okay, now we both have the two monitors. The external monitor, which is it's a Commodore 1702 color composite monitor, and the capture card is now working. Yay! I've been having problems with the capture card. If you guys know of a really good capture card for PC Windows 10 based, please let me know in the comments. I'm looking for another one. The one I have, I've tried several of them, and they're not working great. But leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you think and what you're using at this time. Anyways. We see that this machine is working. I can type. I wonder if the shift key is working. Oh, let's first turn this off. Let's see. This key is probably being a pain. Okay, we are getting letters and numbers. The shift key is working. As you can see, the different character coming while I'm holding down the actual. So it looks like the key is working, but the stem is broken. So we'll have to put that aside and try that out. In the meantime, we were going to plug in the penultimate cartridge. This is a cartridge which is, the feature was 8-bit, and I like it a lot. It's really cool. It has not just the diagnostics, but it's got games and other utilities on here, so really cool. Now these machines, the VIC20s and the 64s, the socket you plug in, the connector you plug in external cartridges are usually a big pain in the neck. They never go in. They're always very tight. But anyways, let's fire this up. Now on this one here, the way to turn it on and get it to the boot, built-in diagnostics, is you hold down this key, button actually. You hold on the button on this right side, on my right, of the cartridge, this one here, and it will hold it down for 10 seconds when you're powering up, and it will then automatically go into the dead test. So let's give that a try. Hold that down, turn it on, approximately 10 seconds, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then let go. And there we go. So now we can see that the diagnostics is coming up. We're going to do a quick test and just see if there are any other issues with the computer, as we don't know what the status is. Now we can see that the RAM tests, the RAM tests are good. They've all passed. Now we're doing the color RAM, the character ROM. That's passed. Oh, and that sound means it's good. We can see that there is a character ROM test and a basic interkernel ROM test, and that's really it. So let's power this off and just power it on and see what comes up, the menu. Oh, my capture card is actually working so far. I've had so much problems today with this thing. It's driving me nuts. Anyways, hopefully it comes clear on the screen there. You can actually go up and down. You can pick games. Let's see here. Paddle games, utilities. Here you can set the expansion of your memory if you want different memory settings. You can change your drive if you wanted to. You can exit to basic, load and run a program, etc. So if you go under games, and there's a lot of games on here. There's like, I believe there's 70 odd games to pick from. Meantime, I think this machine is good. I will make a note. We have to test the ports still and go from there. There we go. So let's put a sticker on this sucker. Grab all my pens and stuff. So VIC20 test. Okay, and this is Jan 3rd already. 2022. Okay, so let's stick this on the bottom. As you put a sticker or a piece of paper like this on the bottom. Other than, sorry, I need to write that down. That the stem is broken. Where did I put my pen? You guys see it? Anybody? How about you in the back? You see my pen? Oh, thanks. There we go. Key is working. It needs new stem. Good. Okay, that one's done. Onward and upward. The next machine, another VIC20. This one is a bit more yellowed, but the badge is a lot brighter than the other one. It looks like a nice case. This would be a good case to do the retro bright. And if you're new to retro brighting, or if you've never done it before, Javier has a great channel. I'll put it on the link below in the comment section. You can go watch him, and he has all kinds of stuff that he does. Oh, there we go. This one here uses the round connector. There. This is like the Commodore 64. So we will not be using this 2-prong plug because this will not work. I shall plug in my have a new power supply for the Commodore 64. There's a bunch of people that make them. I could have made my own, I couldn't be bothered, so I bought one. So let's fire this sucker up and see what we get. Oh, now see, the capture card is flashing. This is something that's wrong with the machine. Or it could be the capture card, I'm not sure. But I would still like to know if anyone has a good recommendation for a capture card. There's something wrong with this keyboard because it just scrolls. It's obviously going on and on and on. And this is why I put on the actual composite computer monitor. You can use any composite. I just have a Commodore one. Let's put it together and make it nice. Anyways, any composite monitor will work, or you can use an RF modulator. It has an RF modulator on the back. Actually, it doesn't have it on the back. You have to plug in the adapter that comes with it. So this one is having keyboard issues. Let us plug in the diagnostics. Let's see if that comes up. Again, press and hold. Count about 10 seconds, and then we shall see what it does. Now, the capture card is flashing. I'm not sure if it's a video problem on the unit. Some units, the output of the video is not very strong, or they vary. Some are stronger than others, and I find that when they're good, properly set up, the capture card works fine. In other cases, it doesn't work fine, and it does this kind of stuff where it's just flashing. This is running through the diagnostics. We will let it run, and I will do the magic of editing, and you will see the results before your eyes. And we can see that the computer is basically passed. It's passed all the tests. I did the bong sound, so it looks like it's either the actual physical keyboard or the connector or something else is wrong. So again, let's put on a note. The date, what we did, what we tested, and what's not working. So another VIC20. This one you can see. Let's see if yes. So can you see the difference? This badge says VIC20 and it's got the color. This one just says VIC20 and it's just the brown and the silver, gold color. This one's different. Even the power button is different. I believe it's because the connector on the side, when they made the newer version, I believe, this should be the newer version. Yes, it has the round connectors, the newer version, which they kind of cheaped out on the badge. So let's plug this one in and fire the baby up. Oop. See what happens. Oh. Yeah, if the flashing is bothering you on the screen, I'm very sorry. I'm going to turn that off, that video source, as we are working here. So let me disable that. And which one is it? And turn it back on. Let's see if we get something here. Yes, we do. We get the cartridge. Let's go to Utilities. Pick the dead tests. And run through this one. Again, through editing, I will speed this up. I'm sure you don't want to wait all this time. Okay, this one's passed the test. Got the little success noise. So I will make a little note saying it's passing everything, and we will swap it out for another machine. Let's try. And we have 2 more VIC20s to go. Okay, the next VIC20 again is an older one. It has the 2-prong plug. I gotta get better with showing this off, but 2-prong plug. Let's fire this baby up. This one requires the other connector. So we will plug the power in. Now I have found that the 2-prong plug power supplies actually last longer than the other bricks. Why? I don't know. I think it's a smaller brick. The internals they're still glued in with epoxy into the case, so there's nothing really to fix. But if you're gonna have a VIC-20 or a Commodore 64 or any computer, really make sure that the power supply is really good, that it's solid, it works. The Commodore ones, a lot of the 64s, I've done repairs on, the power supplies have gone bad and they produce a high voltage, which then fries many chips, sometimes just one, but a lot of times it's the several chips that are destroyed, and the expensive or hard to find chips are the ones that get wrecked. Let's try this one. Oh, this one looks good. Let me see if I can get the capture on this one. Ah, see? So there you go. This is what I was trying to show you, that some of the machines have a lower output of video where the signal is not as strong, and it causes that flickering on the capture card. It doesn't seem to be impacting on the monitor itself, but on the capture cards it does that. It's just weak. Also, the problem is on a 2E works fine. On a 2 Plus, the signal again output is not as strong, and I've had similar problems. I've also purchased a amplifier, but it was a cheap thing I found on Amazon. Doesn't work, so I'm looking for a better solution. So if you find something, let me know. This one looks good. Let us put in our penultimate diagnostics cartridge. Okay, this one has also passed. Fantastic, everything looks good on the screen, on the monitor itself. So I will be powering this one off. Okay, so the last VIC-20 for today. This one is an older one, 2-prong. You can probably tell by the label it's different. Let's plug in this video and fire it up. What are we getting? Boo, boo, no good, no good. This is definitely having some issues. It could be a memory, it could be a CPU. Video I think be fine because the video chip, because it's actually getting something on the screen. We're getting colors. We're seeing some patterns. Let's run the diagnostics. So here we have a failure on the RAM number 7, and it is the looks like bit 3 thereabouts is having an issue. But regardless, the RAM is having an issue on this machine. We will have to, even though it did a beep, it's finished running through the initial test. There's a RAM problem on this box, like I predicted, and we will have to go inside and poke around. But in the meantime, let's move on to our last 2 computers, which are both Commodore 64Cs. Okay, so the next computer here is a Commodore 64, although this one is the Commodore 64C. It's not in your typical bread bin, you find in the old days, a bread box where they put bread inside. This is a slimmer case. It is much thinner and has the same functionality ports. And actually, the board is depending on the type of board in here. There's two types. The board is identical to the 64 or the newer 64C, which is cost reduced. I believe that's what the C at the end stands for cost. So 64C for cost reduced. This one here has been modified. Someone has put a button on here. We'll have to take a look inside eventually to see what the heck this is. Is this a turbo button? Is this a power button? Does this called, maid service? We don't know. In the meantime, let us plug in the power on this sucker, and we'll fire them up and see what gives. So let's turn on this guy and see what we get. And this one seems to be working fine. We're getting something here. Looking quality. See on my capture card, I don't know if you can see now on the let's see there. If I point to it, the capture card is working properly. The signal's coming through nice and crisp. The monitor is showing excellent quality too, although it's not picking up on that with the camera I'm using. This is a webcam camera that I'm using. So, but the quality seems very, very nice. It's very crisp. Let's see what this button does. Oh, it's a reset button. Nice. Okay, let us plug in the complete diagnostics cartridge I have here for the 64. So we'll turn this sucker off. Okay, we plug in this cartridge here. This one I got from a gentleman in Italy. I found them on eBay. I ordered it. One thing I like about this, it's got both the dead test and the 64 doctor in it, and all the components that plug in. So it has the different user port, the serial port, the joystick port. It has the serial port, even a connector for inside for the keyboard. These are independent. There's no cabling. A lot of them are like, if not the ones, most of them that I've seen, are like this one here, where this is the VIC20, but it's the same idea, where you have to plug in one, and then you have a cable from here, and then you have another cable for the serial, the user port, and you have another long cable for your joystick port. It works. It's just that I like this much better. You just plug in everything. So the card goes in here, like so. This is the serial. Serial. Then we have this one is the cassette port, and then the user port is always, I find, very stiff for some reason on these machines. They're probably not very used very much. And then we have the joystick port. The computer has two ports, two joysticks, so this one goes in there. Now I'm not going to open up the machine to plug in the keyboard, so we'll probably get familiar with that. In the meantime, let's fire this up and see what we get. This is running the PC Doctor, which produces a lot of sounds as it's running through its tests, which is good because then you know that the SID chip, the audio chip, is actually working properly. We have interrupt issues on here. This one is showing the keyboard because the keyboard connector is not plugged in. But let's see if anything else comes up. Interrupt, keyboard, paddles, cassette port, the bus user port. So there are obviously some problems with this machine. We will have to make some notes and try it out at another video. We'll be opening them up along with the VIC20s and doing some repairs. We just have the dead test cartridge in, and now let us turn it on and see what happens. Now the screen usually takes a few moments to come on. There's a delay, so when you turn it on and think, oh, I'm not getting any video, what's going on? No, that's typical 64 fashion. It takes a while for it to wake up and give you a display. So it's done the sound test. and it's running to the second iteration of the testing. As we can see, there's no error so far. It would have produced it on the screen. Now, let me quickly take a look. Yeah, on the screen, let me point this out. You'll see the time and date, or yeah, that's the time, sorry, on the bottom here. If these times are not the same, then there's a problem with one of the chips on board, and we'll look into that when we go in the next actual repair of the Commodores and the Commodore machines. In the meantime, let me make a note on here. So again, January. Okay, so that one is done, and our last one, and very yellowed. Wow, look at this one. Looks like it's been painted this color. This is the again, same unit, doesn't have the custom reset button, but let's plug this in and see where it goes. But wow, even the top, the back. See the bottom, oh, there's something loose inside. The bottom is the original color, but the top is definitely not the original color. This definitely needs a retrobrite. But anyways, let's turn it on and see what we get. Oh, this one is working. Again, notice that the video on my capture card is flashing. Oh, it looks like it's settled down now. I don't know, it seems so far. Again, this is the quick test that I'm doing just to make sure that we are getting something. I don't like the fact that it's got something running around inside it. Sounds like it's a screw of some kind. Let's push that over there so you can see what I'm doing. Pop that in. Pop in the serial. I'll plug in the joystick. This is the tape. And this one is the user port. Now, I haven't seen many things that use the user port. I'm not as familiar with all the add-ons for the 64. But if you know of anything that you're using or that use that port, again, leave in the comments. I'd like to hear about it. Maybe talk a bit more about it. Let's fire this up and see what we get. I do have the dead test cartridge in there, and it's running dead test mode. Okay. Now we'll let this run and go. Now the keyboard is going to fail. We do not have the keyboard adapter on there, but that's fine. We will be opening up this one to see what's inside. Is it, you know, screws? Is it a raccoon? What? I don't know. So we'll be definitely peeking inside and poking around to clean it up, along with the other 64C to see how they've wired up that reset switch, and just to take a look and see what else needs to be done on that machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, and through magic of editing, excuse me, we will see the results of this test. And we're back with the magic of noise and editing. That this computer seems successful. The clocks are the same time. They're showing 1:27 a.m. and p.m. and we're running into our second count, meaning that it's run the test at least once, and we'll go to the next one. So let's run the PC Doctor test, and we'll call it a day. So here we go. It's going to go page 0. I like them because it gives it sound too, so you can actually hear what's going on at the time. Does it mean it's a better test? I don't know. I like it. Now the keyboard failed because there is no this dongle was not attached, but everything else seems to be good. And yeah, and so far so good. Again, the clock is identical, so the chips that run the clock, the CIA chips are working. Everything seems to be working. The keyboard, again, It doesn't like it, doesn't have the dongle, but I think it's fine. So that's about it for this video. I will be doing another follow-up video on this, so hope you'll join me to show you the insides of the machines and do some repairs and diagnostics again to see. And we will get the other machines up and running, make sure they're all back into perfect working order. Thanks for coming. And thanks for all the new subscribers I've received recently. It's excellent. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.